What is this
It just sees a single line because you're overlapping
right?
the circle.
You see my point?
Right. Now
Okay.
it's askew, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
An oblique.
So I'm going to try to match it up as a single line. So here's my point. The club, this club is traveling in essence down. We agree? That's a downward motion. And it's traveling out, down and out. Okay? So as long as I am, even though this is a perfect line relative to the camera, that's a swing direction of 0. Okay, my hula hoop is pointed dead nuts where I want it to at the camera, okay? But my club is traveling down and out 30, 40 degrees right now that way. You get where I'm saying? Okay. Then it's traveling 30, 40 degrees that way. But at the bottom, guys, it can travel at 0 right there. It can match up that the camera sees. Are you with me? But here's the thing I want you guys to be clever about. What I'm showing you right here represents, quote, the bottom of the divot after I've already touched the ball. So if you come over here and look over my shoulder, okay, it doesn't matter, just somewhere where you can kind of look over my shoulder. Jump in the hula hoop with me. Come on, right beside me. Okay, this club, guys, is traveling. It's still, you can see the down and out. When you watch this later at home, this club's traveling down and out. Boom, it hits a ball. It's traveling inside out, even though the swing direction is 0. Thanks for jumping in on this, too. I should have hollered for you, Al. You see my point? So this is a down and out behavior. Even though the hula hoop, Al, go take a look at this hula hoop from the camera angle. You'll see it looks like a line. Because I want you to see the donut shape of this. Here's the down and out onto a ball. Bam. This on its own creates a draw, guys, because I don't need to do this kind of stuff. I'm just kind of showing you how to let the speed come out properly in your case. When you are doing this now, you're letting the speed come out properly into a finish. Water bucket over, and it's getting Bryan wet here, okay? Do you see how this is a straight line? So this club's traveling down to the right, down to the right, down to the right, down to the right, less to the right, less to the right. Boom, it hits a ball. It's still traveling to the right. That little motion that way kicks the ball into a little bit of a draw. We don't have to try to do this to draw the ball. We just have to let it touch. When it's kick me a ball, B, or even a smart ball be good. Well, it is. Your way is but it's not in the last 2 swings you made, because your former swing was steep, and then you're not going to let yourself fall through and hit it smothery left, right? So this ball sits here. As this club's coming down and out, that's enough to make that thing bite into a spin, okay? And since it's traveling down and out, it bites into a mild tilted axis spin.
Because it continues to
yes,
go down.
yes,
not
because
only
it's
across, but it's going across and down.
It's going down and out until the end of its out. The end of its out's the divot.
Yeah, change your vector of force.
You know it. And then this part's all just how you slow down in style. Is that making some sense?
2 vectors of force.
Yeah.
So you're going to end up with 2 vectors of force.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fancy way of saying it, but get my point? That's awesome.
So what Dennis's swing direction was, he took that hula hoop.
Yeah, yours was that way. And then you needed to face this way to make the ball sort of playable, buddy. Right?
So would it be? So this is the swing direction.
That's
right
swing
there.
direction. That's where the hula hoop is pointing. 0.
Okay, so all those different points, as you break these down, you see how they're now pointing different directions?
Yeah.
So that's straight right there.
Yeah.
Your swing direction, your hula hoop was pointed this way.
So the moral of the story is why I brought you over here is you can have a perfect swing direction, a 0. A 0 swing direction actually gives you a rightward path. Why? Because we hit the ball before we get to the bottom. Okay? If I hit the ball after the bottom, my swing direction's to the left, or my club path's to the left. My swing direction's always straight.
Downward,
on this thing.
Downward is outward.
Yeah.
Starts to the right, but it'll come back to
Yeah.
the center.
Yeah. Like if you put a ball there, okay, and you hit it there, that's enough bite, like just to kick a golf ball into a little bit of a tilted backspin.
But if I go a bit forward.
Yeah, now you're running the risk of hitting it too straight and the ball doesn't know what to do. Or if you hit it forward, you're gonna hit it with leftward path, which could hit it left, or it could hit a slice.
Because I'm wondering maybe that's part of my problem. The ball is not exactly at the right place.
I don't think of exactly's. Exactly's will drive you nuts. Okay? But here's my point too. Now to add, come on over for a second. Let's add a little bit to this. So face me for a sec. Throw me a golf ball, buddy. One golf ball. Oh, I got one. B, sorry. Doc has one in his pocket, like I would expect so. You got a scalpel? Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, right. So there's the bottom. This is where like the bottom would be. Okay. Here's the bottom here. Maybe the ball's back of the bottom. Okay. Now watch this. There's a golf ball left center in my stance. But guess what? I'm not just staying perfectly centered with my body. Watch what I do. See how I got a little bit of motion forward? That dynamically moves the ball where? Back a bit. When I move it farther back, do I create more tangency to the right? That's why. But what does a slicer want? A slicer's got some kind of face issue. They move the ball dynamically. You know what I mean? So a good player's always got some element of shift forward. They dynamically move the ball back a little bit. There's no perfects in golf. There's just margins that are successful.
So
That's how.
For example, like Clay Ballard, that's another guy that.
Sure, I like him. I don't follow him much.
But basically, when he does that swing,
yeah,
you see him like it's like a squat. All of a sudden, that they say, "Holy shit! How can you squat that much?" But he really does.
Well, here's why. Okay, so, and this is when a good player hits a golf ball, they have this, the club gets way closer to the ball, right?
Yeah.
So this is why a good player hits it far, because now if I didn't stand up, where am I going to stick the club in the ground? Right here. So what does a good player do? Watch. Bam. This handle gets raised really fast. It takes something from an out-of-line condition and makes it flee in-line really fast. Here's how. So Doc, come here. Put your hand on my hand. Doc, how many Docs here? Okay, good. So watch. So feel how I'm going to speed this club head up. I'm not twisting the handle. I'm just going to raise it at the right time, right? So by raising the handle at the right time, I accelerate the club head. So when you see a good player figure this out, it's not through coaching usually. It's by accident. When they're little, watching their amazing father hit golf balls, like his little brother. When he was this tall, I watched his little brother like stand by his dad and watch him hit balls all the time. Okay, he was already a teenager by that point, and a very good player. But the point is, good players figured out that to really mash it, I can take on this risk, and the outcome of that risk is this. You get my point? And that's the acceleration of something. Now, do I necessarily want you guys feeling that? Not really. Is there going to be some of that in there anyway? Yes. As you push and rotate to a finish, you got it. Now, are you going to look like Tiger Woods trying to hit 7-iron, 210 yards? No. But you see why he can speed the club up? Because they take something from an inline condition, make it get out of line, and then that little push is what exponentially makes it go faster. Okay?
Vertical, and I've noticed that you're trying to get my feet really closer together.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I find I lose my balance a bit that way. Because of the vertical, I feel more stable if I have
I tell you what, everybody does. Everybody feels great there.
Actually, it's
but
proprioception. It's your joint capsules. By moving it close together, he's not as dynamic in his joint capsules. So as he moves his joint capsules, it gives him better proprioception.
I'm sure I'm not smart enough to know that, but here's my thing. Everybody wants to stand in there statically and go, okay, I feel really good. Okay, but this doesn't let you have any of this, what you need. Like with the ladies, with the oinky thing, putting this pig right here. This is a barbecue, guys. It's 500 degrees, ready to go. Okay, here's the pig right here. We're getting ready to put the pig on the barbecue. Now, guess what can happen? I can move and accelerate. You can change that angle a bit if you want, coach. So this is me developing my backswing, right? In this circle, and notice how my club kind of comes off of this as soon as my trail elbow bends a bit. And so when I showed you that sense of how a club accelerates from the upward force, what's really creating the upward force? Me pushing into the ground, and what's that do to my shoulder and stuff? Brings it up. That's why every pro, if you could freeze them in this state, they take a divot 6 inches deep and starting at 2 feet behind the ball. But they don't, because they go, and they have a very shallow attack angle with a very strong face, and that's compression. Okay, now that's a high level discussion. You can watch this a few times, maybe you get a few nuggets from this. But I just wanted to bring you over here to discuss swing direction and club's path. The club path for a zero swing direction can be very inside out. If you touch the ball there, it's 30 degrees inside out. It can be very outside in if you touch the ball there. That's why if the ball's too far forward with a driver, you're always going to have a leftward swing direction, even though you're aiming perfectly. Okay, you see my point, guys?
I was very confused with compression because I was trying to compress my arm against my body when in fact your body compresses against your arm.
Yes, it does.
So that was very different. So I was pulling it in and messing everything up. If you leave it out there and make your body compress.
Yep, so there's and you're learning this. There's your nice width now. Now you have compression
Right.
of
So
a
you're
body.
Bringing the arm in.
That's a
The
physical
arm's gotta
compression.
stay out there. All the compression
And then
has to
a
occur from the
dynamic
torso.
compression is the ball and the club head. All right, so well, that's enough. We're going down a rabbit hole unless you want to add something.
If you want to just do that, the pig over the barbecue onto that foot.
Sure.
Quick, I'm just going to throw this little visual reference
Okay.
in here. So your center, as you get back there, you move forward
Yep.
over like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. So that ball position moves back as he gets.
It's a dynamic ball location. Even though it's sitting still, we're moving it just because we're moving.
Make sense?
Okay. Somebody's club?
Next year's.